The storm rolled in from the Gulf just after midnight, dragging with it a wall of mist that swallowed the French Quarter. The air smelled like old copper and wet earth. Down on Chartres Street, beneath a flickering street lamp, stood a house no one had lived in for decades, the Maison Blanche. Locals said it was cursed, that anyone who stepped through its door after dark would hear whispers in the walls and never sleep the same again. Evelyn Dupree didn't believe in curses. She was 27, a freelance photographer chasing stories of forgotten places. The Maison Blanche was perfect for her next project, an abandoned mansion with roots in the city's oldest families, its walls rumored to hold secrets of voodoo rituals and lost souls. She'd read everything about it, how Madame Celeste Blanche, the house's last owner, was found dead in her parlor in 1893, her eyes wide open and her mouth sewn shut with crimson thread. The police report had called it madness. The locals called it something else, the reckoning. Evelyn arrived just after the rain began. The gate creaked open like it had been waiting for her. She took a picture, flash burst, white against the black, and swore she saw a figure in the upstairs window. When she looked again, the glass was empty. Inside, the house smelled of rot and dust. Her flashlight beam danced over faded wallpaper, warped portraits, and a grand staircase slick with mildew. Each creak of the floorboards echoed like footsteps following her. Evelyn told herself it was just the house settling, the wind playing tricks. But when she turned off the flashlight for a moment, the air felt wrong, too heavy, too alive. She began taking photos. Every time the flash went off, something changed. In one frame, the parlor was empty. In the next, a chair had turned toward her. Then a shadow appeared in the corner, long and thin, stretching toward the ceiling. Evelyn froze. She replayed the images on her camera screen, zooming in. The shadow had the shape of a woman in an old-fashioned dress. Her face blurred, hands clasped like she was praying. Evelyn exhaled shakily and whispered to herself, "It's just the light." But then, from the hallway, came a soft humming. It was a lullaby, slow, mournful, the kind mothers sing to restless children. It floated through the air, echoing from the walls. Evelyn's pulse raced. She followed the sound up the staircase, each step groaning beneath her weight. The humming grew clearer, not from one voice, but many, layered together, like a choir of whispers. At the top of the stairs, she saw a door slightly ajar. The humming stopped. The silence pressed against her ears. She nudged the door open with her camera. Inside was a child's room, a small bed with tattered sheets, a cracked mirror on the wall, and dozens of porcelain dolls lined up on a shelf. Their glass eyes reflected the beam of her flashlight. Evelyn lifted her camera. Click, flash. When her vision cleared, every doll's head had turned toward her. Her breath caught. She stumbled back, dropping the camera, its flash going off as it hit the floor. The burst of light revealed something behind her, a figure standing in the mirror. A woman in a long white dress, her face obscured by a black veil. Evelyn spun around. No one was there. The air grew cold enough for her breath to show. A whisper brushed her ear. "Why did you come here?" Her flashlight flickered and died. She ran. Down the hall, her footsteps echoing in uneven rhythm with another set that wasn't hers. She didn't look back. At the bottom of the stairs, a door slammed shut on its own. The front door. She tried the handle, but it wouldn't move. Her phone had no signal. Then, a voice, clear and low, came from the parlor. "You took her picture." Evelyn turned. A faint light glowed inside the parlor, as if candles had been lit. She stepped closer and saw a mirror on the far wall she hadn't noticed before. It was tall, framed in black iron, and covered in symbols carved into the glass, circles, crosses, and eyes. In the reflection, she saw herself, and behind her, the veiled woman, closer now, standing right at her back. Evelyn gasped and spun around again. The room was empty, but in the mirror, the figure raised a hand. Her fingers were long and thin, and where her eyes should have been, there were two glowing red slits. "Who are you?" Evelyn whispered. The figure tilted her head. Her voice came from everywhere at once. "I am the one who never left." The lights in the room flared, then went out. Evelyn screamed as the mirror began to hum. A deep vibration that rattled the floor. Shadows poured out from the glass like smoke, forming shapes. People, dozens of them, faces twisted in silent agony. Their mouths opened, but no sound came out. Evelyn stumbled backward, clutching her camera. She snapped another photo, flash, and saw for a split second that she wasn't in the parlor anymore. She was standing in the middle of a graveyard, tombstones half sunk in mud, names she didn't recognize carved into the stone. One name stood out, Evelyn Dupree, 1998 to 2024. Her blood ran cold. She dropped the camera. When it hit the ground, she was back in the house. The mirror was cracked. From the other side, the veiled woman pressed her hand against the glass. Evelyn backed away, but her feet wouldn't move. Her body felt heavy, her mind thick with fog. She realized with horror that the mirror wasn't reflecting her anymore. It was pulling her in. She screamed and fought to look away, but the reflection of her face began to melt, her features twisting until they matched the woman's beneath the veil. The last thing she saw before everything went black was her own reflection smiling back at her, eyes glowing red. The next morning, the rain had stopped. A man walking his dog noticed the gate of the Maison Blanche was open again. Inside, he found a camera lying on the floor of the parlor, still on, flashing intermittently. The last picture showed a woman in a long white dress standing in front of the mirror, her face hidden behind a veil. He turned it off and left quickly. 2 days later, a new rumor spread through the French Quarter that the old house wasn't empty anymore. Late at night, if you stood across the street, you could see a figure moving in the upstairs window, taking pictures of something no one else could see. And sometimes, if the mist was thick enough, you could hear a woman's voice humming a lullaby, soft and low, drifting down Chartres Street. The locals say the Maison Blanche took another soul that night. Some call her Evelyn. Others say she became the next Madame of the house, cursed to keep collecting lost spirits through her camera, forever trapped between the living and the dead. But if you ever walk past that house after midnight and see a flash of light in the window, don't stop to look, because the camera might catch you too.